Hey guys, how are you? Sorry it's taken me so long to get my next video up. I actually finished these two books. Well, I'm going to do it in two different videos so that this video isn't like a bajillion years long. But I finished these actually a couple of weeks ago and I just never really got around to making the videos. So here they are. Yay! Alright, so this first video is a review for the book Scarlett, the second book in the Lunar Chronicles series by Marrisa Meyers. It's pretty thick, and it's really pretty. I really like the cover. But, you know, never judge a book by its cover, because you never know what you're actually going to get. Anyway, so I'm going to read you guys the cover, just so that you can get a synopsis of it, and then I'll go into my review. Alright. The fates of Cinder and Scarlett collide as a lunar threat spreads across the Earth. Cinder, the cyborg mechanic, returns in the second thrilling installment of the best-selling Lunar Chronicles. She's trying to break out of prison, even though, if she succeeds, she'll be the Commonwealth's most wanted fugitive. Halfway around the world, Scarlett Benoit's grandmother is missing. When Scarlett encounters Wolf, a street fighter who may have information about her grandmother's whereabouts, she is loath to trust this stranger, but is inexplicably drawn to him, and he to her. As Scarlett and Wolf unravel one mystery, they encounter another when they meet Cinder. Now, all of them must stay one step ahead of the vicious Lunar Queen Lavanna, who will do anything for the handsome Prince Kai to become her husband, her king, her prisoner. Bam, bam, ba! Yay! That's gonna be, like, my key line for, like, ever. So, yeah, so that's Scarlett, pretty much. So, if you read Cinder, Cinder is about a cyborg mechanic who's based off of Cinderella. She, she's living with her stepmother and her two stepsisters, one who is a total and the other who is, like, really sweet to her. The youngest one dies from the plague that has been spreading through the Commonwealth, and everybody blames her, and then it just kind of domino effect after that. She ends up in prison, basically. And so in this one, it opens, I believe, with her trying to break out of prison, or Scarlett, or somebody, or whatever. But, I'll let you actually read the book. So for this book, I buddy read it with a friend of mine, via Goodreads. For those of you who don't know what Goodreads is, it's just a site where bloggers or writers or readers can get together and write together or read a book together and talk about said book, and where you can keep track of what you're reading and stuff like that. But so Buddy read this book, and he said he thought it was okay, whereas I thought it was fantabulous. I loved the first book. The first book was great. The characters were really good. I really adore Cinder. She's just like, oh! I think when I read Cinder, though, I was closer to her age. She's actually 16, and I totally just like, whoosh, didn't even know. So Scarlett is based off of, not the Scarlet Letter, as everybody has said every single time I pop this book out in public. Scarlett is based off of Little Red Riding Hood, hence why there was a character named Wolf. But so, Scarlett is just this little farm girl. Her grandmother has been missing for 2 weeks, and people have given up the search because they think she's crazy and that she just ran off and she'll come back eventually. And Scarlett's like, no. So, I think it was a great book. I think that some of the characters could have used a little more character development. I mean, there is there's definitely another book after this. It's called Cress. And I think there's one after that, one more, I think. So I'm hoping that the characters who didn't get as developed in this book will get more developed in the next book, and we'll see how that happens. But at the same time, on that note, there's this one character, his name is Captain Thorne, who I and my friend both thought were slightly underdeveloped, but he was bitching about it. I thought that it wasn't so much that he was underdeveloped. I mean, we never really got to know him or his backstory or any of that. We know that he got into some trouble and he got imprisoned and all that. That's why he met Cinder. But his simplicity and how simple he is makes it easier for him to crack jokes kind of like that, whereas Cinder is really serious because of what's been going on and because of what's going on with Kai and Queen Lavanna yada yada yada. And so as my friend put it, for comedic humor, I think that the simplicity of that particular character was really needed, and I'm kind of glad we didn't get deep and dirty and into all of that stuff to see, what he really is as a human being. I'm glad Cinder figured out how to bring Eiko back. For those of you who don't know who Eiko is, you should go read the first book, because Eiko was one of my favorite characters. She is totally adorable. She's just a little robot that was disassembled in the first book because of Cinder's sister. But Cinder figured out how to bring her back to life in the second book, and Eiko's just adorable. I like the story progression. I thought it was a teeny bit slow in the beginning. It was kind of hard to get through, only because I wanted Scarlett and Cinder to meet already, and I wanted Scarlett and Wolf to get together, and they weren't getting together, and I was just like, ah! You know what I mean? And but it quickly picked up the pace. Something happened, and everything, again, the domino effect, it just went boop, and then everything was rolling and going off, and it was just after a while it got fast paced, and everything kept moving really quickly, and I really like that in a book, when a book can move really fast but still hold your attention. Sometimes when books move too quickly, they lose your attention, because you have no idea what's going on, because they're already, whatever, where you were back there waiting, like, wait, what happened to that other guy? But they're already way over there down that other road with Jonathan, or whatever. You know what I mean? So, I think overall, I think this was a 5 stars out of 5. Or that's what I put on Goodreads, I'm pretty sure. But, I do wish that, so what I was saying about character development, one of the characters who I wish we had really gotten to see more of was Prince Kai, who was Cinder's kind of love interest in the first book, and still kind of love interest now. We got to see him, kind of, but he was freaking out whenever we saw him, because, Lavanna had just made a new threat, or he's had clutches on Cinder, and then they missed, or, so he was freaking out. And my friend was saying something about, oh, why doesn't he have any training as an emperor? Yeah, okay, he's 16, but la da da da. And I'm like, well, he lost. Okay, so Prince Kai lost his father to the plague in the first book, and that's why he was thrust into the emperor role. And while I agree that I think that, yeah, around his age he would have started learning how to be an emperor, there would have been no way that they knew they were going to lose that current emperor so quickly. And Kai would have to grow up so fast, and if it were me, and it was my mom who was dying of the plague, I wouldn't give a crap about being emperor or empress or whatever. I would be more concerned with trying to make my mother comfortable, or begging somebody for a cure, or whatever. I mean, I read the first book a long time ago, so I don't really remember whether or not Lavanna had told Kai that she had a cure yet, but while I do think that he probably could have handled the situation a little better, I think that with what he had and the training he probably had before he was thrust into the role, he did pretty good. I wish that things didn't happen the way they did happen in the second book, because I'm really concerned for his life. But I'm hoping that Cinder and Scarlett and Wolf will come to his rescue, which is funny. Usually it's the other way around, but, you gotta work with you gotta... You get what you're gonna get, and you gotta be happy with it. So, you know what I mean? But so, yeah. So if you haven't read Cinder, I highly suggest you read Cinder. And if you have read Cinder and you haven't read Scarlett, I highly suggest you read Scarlett. Yay! Alright, so the next book I'm gonna do a review on is Chosen, which is the 3rd book in the House of Night series. And I hope you guys are looking for that video. See you guys soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.